welcome to Get Booked with Jennifer and Mary. I'm Mary.
I'm Jennifer.
Cool. Today we're going to talk about sports books, or books that feature sports of some sort. Some of them you'll be familiar with, some of them you may not be. We'll see how it goes. What do you got first, Jen?
All right, I have Tim Green's Kid Owner. What happens when a kid owns a football team, an NFL football team? Tim Green is a former NFL player. He's actually really sweet, and he's got a lot of middle grade sports books.
Cool. So I have the graphic novel version of Kwame Alexander's The Crossover. I like Kwame Alexander a whole lot. I love this graphic novel maybe a little bit better than the original Crossover because it works really well. Kwame Alexander writes in verse. This story is about JB and his brother. They're twins and they're basketball phenoms. But what happens when his brother, who's like his best friend in everything, all of a sudden starts having different interests other than basketball? How does that change Josh's life?
Cool. I've got Catching Jordan by Miranda Keneally. Jordan is a star on the football team. She's actually the quarterback. She's been one of the guys forever. But when a new guy comes to town, he is kind of her rival for the new quarterback position and also maybe a love interest.
Cool. So next I have Hooper. It's a YA book. Some sports books are kind of like Trojan horses in that they have like sports, but like it's really about like family dynamics or whatever. This one actually has a lot of sports talk in it. So if you're a big basketball fan, this has a lot of basketball strategy. Adam is on a basketball team. He does really well, but he's kind of the loner, which is kind of hard for a team sport. He ends up getting on like an upper league team, and then he kind of learns what true I cannot say this. He learns what being a true teammate and being a good friend is really all about. So it's a pretty cool book, and I really enjoyed it from last year.
All right, next I have The Flip Side by Shawn Johnson. She, of course, is the Olympic gold medalist, and it's about a girl who's a gymnast, and she is right at the spot where she's about to try out for the Olympics and make it, maybe. But also, she just kind of wants to have a normal life, be a normal teenager, have a boyfriend, friendships, do normal things, and how is she going to balance those two lives?
Cool. So if you're a fan of like nonfiction sports books, I've got the graphic novel of the story of Roberto Clemente, the baseball player. This one's pretty cool. I like it. It's pretty informative, and the art is also super cool too. So if you want more about that, you got this one.
Next up, I have We Are the Wildcats. This is a new book from Siobhan Vivian. I just finished it this week. It's awesome.
I really want to read that.
It's good. It's a field hockey book, and it's about a stellar field hockey team. They're just starting their new season. They're just coming off of the loss of the championship game last season for several reasons, and they're feeling pretty down about that. The coach is giving them kind of a chance to pull themselves together, and they have mandatory sleepovers during the games, during the seasons. And the first one is the night of, right before their first scrimmage. It's like a really big tradition for them, and it's the only time they ever sneak out and do anything past curfew, and it's this whole big bonding experience. The entire book takes place over 24 hours, and there are 6 perspectives, so you get like this full story, which is really interesting and fun.
Cool. That sounds awesome. So my next book is another biography. This one's of Muhammad Ali. That's also a graphic novel. I really, really love this one because not only do you get the story of Muhammad Ali, but it also has the civil rights movement kind of interwoven because you really can't separate Muhammad Ali from the civil rights movement. So it's super good. I also very much enjoyed it.
I've got 2 adult romance books, Intercepted and Fumbled. Intercepted is the first one, Fumbled is the sequel. The third one, Blitzed, is actually sitting in my nightstand because I am reading that one right now. It is about a football team, and kind of their wives and girlfriends, but it's about so much more than that. There's lots of great friendships, and it's really fun.
Cool. So I've got a Stephen King book. This isn't particularly, it's a sports adjacent book, so I will say that. So The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon, it's about 9-year-old Trisha McFarland who is out hiking on the Appalachian Trail and she gets lost. And the only thing she has to kind of get her through the nights is like a small radio or a Walkman. And she's listening to the Boston Red Sox games. And so she kind of makes Tom Gordon like her, I guess you would say like her internal superhero that's like he's protecting her at night. So it's sports adjacent, kind of sportsy, and Red Sox.
You're in Red Sox country.
I am.
Alright, this one is another adult romance. It's called The Bromance Book Club. And the second baseman of the Nashville baseball team is having trouble with his wife. Their marriage is on the rocks. And his friend pulls him into a romance book club and tells him that the way to win back his wife is, of course, to read romance books and figure out what he's doing wrong from what the heroes in the romance books are doing. It's hilarious. There's a sequel that's out now, and there's a third book on the way.
Yay. Okay, so this is a little far-fetched, but they're really awesome. I'm not a huge wrestling fan, but I love these graphic novels. So WWE East came out with a series, and this one has Dean Ambrose, and it also features Sasha Banks in it. And it's pretty funny because like there's not a lot of the wrestling stuff in it, but there's more of like the backstory stuff that like we see like when they're in the ring and they're like monologuing and whatnot. And so it's like, you know, another wrestler like screwing up his Jeep, and so he can't like get home, and so Sasha Banks gives him a ride, and they of course pass the other guys, and there's a huge fight. It's like super fun. The artwork's also really good. It has a lot of bright colors, and I like them. I know wrestling, whether or not it's sports, kind of like up in the air, but these are super fun.
Alright, I'm a big basketball fan, as you couldn't tell. I'm a big Celtic fan too. So I really liked Dragon Hoops, and it's kind of a nonfiction graphic novel. It's, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of big. It's a little bit heavy, but it's really cool. It takes place over one season, and Jean Lewin Yang is the author, and he is a teacher at this high school, and he's following this basketball team that almost always seems to make it to the finals and never becomes the champions. So interwoven is some history about basketball, some history from the players, and what brought them to the team and their lives, and it's just really fun. And he's not a basketball fan, so it's really funny.
Cool. So my last book is called Slam. It's a graphic novel that came out like a couple of years ago. So it has two people who meet during roller derby, and they become best friends. So there's Maisie, whose new roller derby name is I Think I Can. They call her Can Can. And then there's what's the other girl's name? I can't remember. Jennifer, whose name becomes Knockout. And so they're best friends, and they're there for each other. And both of them had like hard stuff going on. So roller derby kind of became this thing that kind of saved them to a certain extent. But then they go out for tryouts to get drafted to teams, and it turns out they get drafted on opposing teams. So this book is more about them trying to like stay friends, yet being on the opposing team, and then also trying to deal with like Maisie's not the best roller skater, which is kind of a thing you need to have for roller derby. And then Knockout has trouble fitting into her team because she's like the new jammer, and there's also another jammer who's like the old veteran who's really hardcore and has no emotion, so everybody's scared of her. So it has a lot of them trying to like get their team dynamics and to see if they can still be friends through all of it. So this is volume 1, and I think I should order volume 2 because I want to know what happens.
I really love roller derby names. I think that they're so fun.
What would be your roller derby name, Jen?
Oh god, I have no idea. Probably not Knockout, because not like that, but I don't know. I'll have to think about that.
You could come up with like a clever librarian pun.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, if off the cuff, mine could be Bloody Mary, which isn't great, but it's a good roller derby name.
That is a great roller derby name. I've seen you thought about this a lot.
No, if I thought about it more, I would have a better name than Bloody Mary. That's kind of like, of course, there's probably like 17 Bloody Marys out there right now playing roller derby.
But at least you have a name.
True.
So, there you go. Alright, my last books are kind of similar. They're Sports Illustrated books for kids. They're really cool. They're kind of oversized books, but I'm just going to open it up because they have really great pictures, lots of information, lots of trivia stuff, which is great. So this one is Top 10 List Everything in Football. This one is the hockey one. And this one is a different one. It's all access, behind the scenes pass to the coolest thing in sports. And it has all sorts of sports, but what I like about it is it does have some of these like fun pages like that. So those are really cool. We have a bunch of those downstairs in the children's department too.
Yep.
All right. Ooh, my socks. Celtics fan, so I got my Celtics fan, and of course my Paul Pierce jersey because he's my favorite.
Yeah, so I wore my UGA Georgia hoodie today because I went to school at UGA, and the Georgia Bulldogs are my team. Go Dogs, sick 'em, woof woof woof.
And your shoes.
Oh yeah, no, I just wore my red Converse just to coordinate with my hoodie because I have Converse in almost every color.
All right, we hope that we picked your favorite sport here. If not, we have plenty of more sports books. Hit us up for recommendations if you need one, or check out the catalog. See you next week.